Hey, a viewer wanted me to do a video talking about derivatives. I thought that was a good topic. So I'm going to give it a shot here. And maybe some of you have heard in the past, Warren Buffett said derivatives, he equated them to WMDs, the weapons of mass destruction of finance. Now, I'm not going to criticize Warren Buffett. I like Warren Buffett. I think he's legit. Okay, the guy, he's made a huge amount of money as a stock investor through a very systematic approach of value investing over the years. And by the way, that's how I invest in stocks, and I do teach a course in value investing with MMT applied as well, just so you know. But Warren Buffett has called them WMDs. What are derivatives? Well, derivatives, as the name suggests, are instruments or contracts which are derived or whose value is derived from some underlying asset. Okay, so for example, if you have an underlying asset, let's say like gold, you can have a futures contract which is based on that underlying physical gold. Then you might have an option on the futures contract, and that option's value is based on the futures contract, which is based on the underlying asset of gold. You could have a swap, right? And it could go on, 3, 4, 5 derivatives on the same asset. So what you're really talking about there is leverage, okay, where you have some underlying asset and then you have each derivative having some claim on that asset. You could almost think about it as an inverted pyramid where at the bottom you have the asset, and then as it gets wider towards the top, you have all these derivatives. So it looks like an unstable situation, and I guess potentially it could be. If you think about it, if all of the holders of derivatives wanted to exchange that for their claim of the asset, there might not be enough of that asset to go around to satisfy all those claims. You could almost think of it like a bank run, right? If everybody just showed up one day at the bank and said, we want our cash, the bank might not have that on hand. Okay, that's why we have a Fed, to preclude something like that from happening. But you might not have that in a derivative situation. Now, it's been estimated there's something like 700 trillion in derivatives outstanding. I don't know what multiple of the underlying asset value that is. It's probably a decent multiple. I don't know. Could be 20 times or something like that. But the question is, should we be sitting around waiting for some catastrophe to happen? And my answer to that is no, I don't think so. I think the global economy is big enough. I think we have enough backstops, hopefully, like central banks that are lenders of last resort, who have learned their lesson since the financial crash. You know, maybe I'm being too optimistic here, but who knows? But no, I don't sit around worrying about some, a WMD of derivatives going off and bringing everything down. I got other things to worry about. But anyway, basically that's all it is. When you're talking about derivatives, you're talking about leverage. You're taking an asset, you're leveraging it up many, many times, and there's some inherent risk in that, because if everybody in that chain has a claim on that asset, there might not be enough of it to go around. So it's like it would touch off a situation similar to like a bank run. All right, so I don't worry about it. But that's your explanation of derivatives. Bye.